Where did you grow up, your early years, and how did you come about to be a finance professional first?
So I was raised and born in Lebanon. I studied banking and finance, and that's how my journey with finance started as a financial analyst. And then I spent maybe 8 years or 9 years in Lebanon, and then I moved to Dubai. My love story for food started in Dubai 10 years ago. My objective was to move to Dubai, mainly because it was the land of opportunities. Stay in my comfort zone, I will never make it. Time for you to go and meet the world of F&B, try food, look at competition, attend those events, look at panelists, chat with them, see what's really behind this.
What makes you become better every day?
Stay surrounded by people who really give you something in life. You learn from them. So the more you surround yourself by a good team, by people who really speak the right language with you, you learn from them, you will grow. I attend a lot of events as much as I can.
What just makes you pull your hair?
If they are
What do you do then? How do you handle that?
that's when you say no.
How are you nurturing people around you?
How they want to grow and all. So first part is you listen, you understand their needs, and you see how you can support their needs. Second is learning.
What have you understood or you still struggle with, when you want to predict the F&B in Dubai?
First, it's a very dynamic world.
Hi, welcome to Restrocast. Today my guest is Pauline Ibrahim, CEO at Global Catering Services, an Abu Dhabi-based premium hospitality company running some of the most amazing concepts across UAE and in Middle East. Pauline's story is for every professional who believes in a dream that no matter where they start from, they can reach the pinnacle just by sheer grit, perseverance, hard work, and most important, being of value. I think she makes it sound very effortless and linear, which we all know is not the reality in the world. But, the most striking thing for me in this entire conversation was that how clear and objective she was about why her journey happened to be like this. It's a great story. It's awe-inspiring. Do watch. Welcome to Restrocast. So Pauline, welcome to Restrocast.
Thank you.
Interesting journey, and I always tell people that people don't choose restaurant industry in their sane mind. They generally slip and fall into it. And you have been a finance professional, so I want to know everything about your journey. But we'll start from the start. Give me a little bit on where did you grow up, your early years, and how did you come about to be a finance professional first?
So I was raised and born in Lebanon. I studied banking and finance, and that's how my journey with finance started as a financial analyst in a big group diversified in Lebanon that has retail, fashion, F&B. But at that time I was leading the part of their countries within the financial analysis department. And then I spent maybe 8 years or 9 years in Lebanon. So I worked first with Azadea group and then with Henkel. And then I moved to Dubai. It was in 2015, 10 years ago.
So up until 2015,
yeah,
all your life was in Lebanon?
All my life in Lebanon, all my life in finance and still. But it was the only relationship with food was mainly my mom's food and checking all these restaurants and recipes until I came to Dubai. So my love story for food started in Dubai 10 years ago. So it was aligned with my move here. And this is where I joined again Azadea group to lead their finance division for the F&B. At that time they had maybe 110 restaurants, mainly franchises, not homegrown.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, after Azadea, after 5 years, I joined iKcon, which is a startup. They do a cloud kitchen, and it was during the phase where delivery was making a big hype in the market, and in line with the COVID years. And after that, I joined Black Spoon Management. They have Alo Beirut, Ibn al-Bahar, Masti. So I stayed there for 3 years. So my roles at that time started from financial analyst and then manager and then director and then CFO. So during my tenure at Black Spoon, I worked on the acquisition because the company was acquired by Jadwa Investment. So it was a very nice experience to look at the whole aspect from A to Z of this acquisition exercise. And later, 1.5 years ago, I joined Global Catering Services, which is part of United Soccer, a big conglomerate in Abu Dhabi. They have Abu Dhabi Motors, real estate, heavy equipment, and their F&B pillar is called Global Catering Services.
Awesome. And you've taken over as the CEO of Global Catering.
Yes.
But you joined as a CFO.
Correct.
Tell me about that.
Usually as a CFO, you get to see the business from all its aspects, from the A to Z, and you get involved in operation and commercial aspect. I tell you, part of my passion to F&B made me be present everywhere. Whenever I join a company, I support each department. I get to learn. I go to the ground. I see the kitchen. I visit it. I get involved in everything that happens. And this made me, of course, grow and add value to any CEO or any board that I'm supporting, because they really need to have a strong CFO with them. It's not only about numbers. It's about also guiding them through their decisions, looking at the market, staying connected, growing. So it was a mix of growing my F&B knowledge as well as supported by the finance aspect. And that's when in June, when the company, they needed to hire a CEO, they looked at Pauline and they thought then Pauline can make it based on the background and based on the fact that I was close to the team, able to lead in many aspects. So this is how it started. And the adventure has started, I can say.
I'll take you back to your earliest days in Lebanon at Azadea. That was your first assignment in the food space, right? In the restaurant space.
It was not food. It was, it is a diverse company. At that time, I was mainly focusing on the fashion. And it was, we were, let's say, assigned a certain country. So let's say I had Jordan, Romania, and then you start to grow. They give you UAE, which is a bigger scope, and then Lebanon. So they add divisions to your portfolio as an analyst. So it was very interesting, to be honest. When I look at Azadea, for me, it's school.
You're not doing restaurant at that time?
No.
Okay.
Not until 2015.
So your restaurant Azadea stint started when you...
Yes, when I joined Dubai.
I would love to talk about that then, because that's the part of Azadea that I want to, touch upon. Was that... Azadea is a great company, they've done great concepts and they continue to be very, very successful. Was that your, early school into restaurant business?
Yes.
Tell me about
that. I would say when I told you 2015, I moved to Dubai. So my objective was to move to Dubai. I was not looking at the industry. I wanted to do finance and Dubai, mainly because it was the land of opportunities. And at that time, I was maybe 30 years old. And I was saying, it's now or never. If I stay in my comfort zone, I will never make it. So it's time now for me to leave Lebanon. And that's how I came to Dubai. The opportunity with Azadea opened to me the doors to the F&B world. And this is where my passion started. And I would tell you I was lucky. I need to speak here about luck. And I was blessed to work with a very passionate team and a passionate leader who made me really see the real aspects of restaurants and F&B. So he used to push me to read about F&B, to attend workshops, to go to all these events. So I went out of my finance box, where you only sit and look at the numbers and work on feasibilities or due diligence or evaluate a new brand. Now it's time for you to go and meet the world of F&B, try food, look at competition, attend those events, look at panelists, chat with them, see what's really behind this industry. So that's how it started. And it is a school because when you look at the brands, the portfolio of brands and the countries and the complexities, you get to learn a lot from finance as well from operation. I learned a lot in terms of standards, in terms of growth, in terms of people, different cultures, different aspects of this industry. So that's why I see it as a school. And whenever you are surrounded by the right people, this really would help you to grow further in your life.
I mean, that's great. Who's the leader that you're talking about?
Mert Asken, you're familiar with Mert. He was the F&B president for Azadea. With finance background. So we had a lot of similarities in terms of thinking, in terms of logic, in terms of pickiness when we prepare for any presentation or any board. But at the same time, it is about the character, like someone who's very down to earth, who wants their team to grow. This is what helped me specifically to really love this F&B and to grow.
And then you joined, you said iKcon.
Yes.
Why did you move from Azadea, and why iKcon, and what was that journey like?
Yeah. So I was approached by the CEO of iKcon, and it was like very simple on LinkedIn. When you meet a very, let's say, bullish entrepreneur who dreams big and who's building the company, and talking about delivery. And at that time, when during my Azadea days, I was leading on the topic of delivery. So I was interested in delivery in particular, the packaging, the commissions, how you can turn the P&L positive for a delivery division. Of course, it wasn't that popular like 2017-18. So when you say my restaurant delivery contribution is 2-3%, 5%, it was already something. Nobody expected that it will turn into 15 and 20% and you would still make money. So it was an interesting thing for me because it involves technology, of course, the growth. It involves, let's say, the future, because you need to look at the market trends. And if you look at outside GCC at that time, delivery was really something. It was the days of Uber, and Deliveroo started at that time. So when I was approached by the CEO of iKcon, he said, I'm building this company and I need someone strong in finance as well as in F&B. Let's have a chat, let's have a coffee. When I got this opportunity and I discussed it with Mert, I had to discuss it with him. He said, I cannot tell you to stay. You have to go because it's really something interesting and sexy for someone who works in finance as well as in F&B. So if you don't take it, I cannot really retain you. You have to take it. As a good manager today, I need to give you the right advice. So it was a tough decision, but of course, again, if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you will not learn, you will not grow. And that's how, at that time, maybe it was, after leaving Lebanon, it was like the toughest decision because it's a startup. So here you need to think, am I going to get my salary? Is it going to be sustainable? Is it real? Are these, let's say, plans and promises to the investors real? Is it going to really happen or not? So I took, again, this challenge. And I'm happy that I took it because I learned a lot as well during my tenure with iKcon, especially that I had to set up the department, to work on the ERP, to work on the Series A, Series B, to take part of the roadshows with the investors. So every aspect in iKcon was a learning. And this is like, where I look, you feel like Azadea was the base, your school, and then the PhD was at iKcon because it is that difficult. And it happened during the time of Corona later, of COVID. So it was a time where we had to focus on the cash flow, managing the crisis, also accepting all the, I would say if you remember, most of operators, they started to look for delivery. So we had a lot of operators approaching us. We need to find locations. We need to grow the team to be able to support that. At the same time, it is time of crisis. So how would you manage the cash flow? So it was a tough time. Of course, I learned a lot. I don't regret it at all.
Which year did you join them?
2019.
So this
till
was
21.
like the starting of the storm. Market was
Before this.
so 2019, entire 2019 and mid 2020 up until COVID, it was like a fast growing
Yes.
talk of the town.
Especially, also with Kitopi and all the big players. So it was mainly the main news about F&B was delivery. So and who's doing what and who's moving faster and all. So yes, now when we talk about it, it feels like 10 years ago, but we're just still in 2025.
Not a lot of professionals will actually take and successful professionals, that too in a city like Dubai, will after establishing a career and seems like the life is going well, will take a jump to a startup. So I think that courage and that feeling, I totally get. But why, like, coming out of iKcon, why did you not go to another startup then? Was that one of the things that you felt, or were you like, okay, I'm very good at venture, thank you, never again?
Not really, because if still when I get to see people and they get my advice, like we were approached by a startup, shall we take it or not? I would always tell you, take it. You have to do it in your life. It's gain more than failure, gain more than loss. So you have to take it, no matter what, even if financially it's not as good as you might expect, because you can be also, you can get those ESOP or shares, like a different type of benefits. So it's not, you should not only look at the package, but overall as an experience, it's really good. It will give you a lot. So going back to iKcon, when I left iKcon, again, I was approached by Black Spoon. It was through a recruiter at that time. And he said they have, so it's a company that wants to become well established. So they are in a phase, he said, it is a startup, not a startup really. So well-established brands, but when you look at the infrastructure, it looks like a startup, and they need someone to come again and to fix the division and to fix the team and to recruit more finance people, get big audit companies on board, a good ERP system in place, and the usual turnaround that you need to do for any organization to grow value, so that later, as you can see with Black Spoon, it got acquired by a big VC from Saudi. So again, it's the story continues. So I cannot tell you I did not really go into a startup again. But what I learned, what I would tell you, I'm not, when you say thank you, not again. So what is thank you, not again for me at that time? For a finance person, I used to, let's say, look at the profitability of a restaurant or a company. I used to focus on EBITDA. I used to look at ROI. I used to look at the MPV and all. When you are in a startup, you have to shift your mindset. So it's mainly top line, growing your sales, and you make money. So for me, it took me time. Like, it's like a cultural change in my mindset, how to look at a startup. So this part of startup life, as a finance person, I would tell you, no, thank you. I would go back to my traditional way of doing things, of really looking at feasibility and having a clear strategy, because in startups, you have to be very dynamic. So, and you can see it, like initially they started as, I'm talking about all operators, not iKcon. They started to say it's delivery and it's the new word. And then later they wanted, again, brick and mortar.
Yeah.
They wanted hotels. So you see that it's not really the strong base of the F&B. There's no story. So when I joined Black Spoon, what I was missing, again, was the story behind the brands, the passion, the owners, the entrepreneurs who really built a brand from a simple activity, let's say, from a simple, let's say the owner, one of the owners, he goes for fishing, and that's how he came up with, let's say, Ibn al-Bahr. So it's a story of a fisherman. So I miss those between startup and going back to a company that has really a certain background. Yes, definitely, it's something that you would miss.
Both are beautiful points, and I think I agree with your first one even more, because we come from that side, right? I mean, I operate in the world of tech, which is surrounded by VCs in California, and we continue to bootstrap and retain a profitable show. So I hear you. I think
Yes, that's why I was smiling, because I feel like I'm
yeah, that's that really speaks to me. And I think for a finance professional, if you're not attuned to like a cash burning, money guzzling engine who has a hope that someday somebody will acquire us and bail us out, sounds like almost like a gambling strategy than a business strategy.
But it is beautiful because it tells you that the sky is the limit in such startups. So you dream big, you really make it. So you need to shift your mindset and you're there.
That is true. What do you do to enrich yourself? How do you, not only in the current phase, but in general? And I see that, that you've been really, you're a thinker, and you introspect. I can clearly see that. What makes you become better every day? What are the practices? Do you read? Do you listen to podcasts? Is there something else that you do to keep yourself, sharp, agile, and thinking?
So I would tell you it's a very like normal, strict, normal recipe. I'm not gonna come and tell you I'm reading 10 books per month or doing this and that. I wish I have the time, especially when I was doing my CFO job, because it's really very demanding. What I would do normally, stay surrounded by people who really give you something in life. You learn from them. So the more you surround yourself by a good team, by people who really speak the right language with you, you learn from them, you will grow. I attend a lot of events as much as I can. I wouldn't say events, not like, I'm not going to name events. We're not going to make any advertisement. But I would say where you can learn about new market trends, what operators are doing, the best practices, just to see how things are going when it comes to F&B, of course. I read a bit. I go through articles as much as I can, through reports, special business cases as well, to learn more, because this is where you get the finance, the strategy, as well as something relatable to the industry that you are in. Whenever I travel, I get a lot of things that I learn a lot when I travel. So, and what I do before traveling, I prepare my list of restaurants that I want to see, to try, or coffees, or sunsets, or anywhere. I read a lot about these places. I look at the reviews. I check and see what is trending. I've been doing this for the past 10 years, since I started this, since I went into the F&B passion. So it's not related to finance, you see. So even when I'm traveling, I can see an idea, I can take a photo, I would send it to the brand manager, to the operation manager. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? So I'm always interested, or like I like to think always out of the box. And this is how you, whenever you see, the more you get ideas to implement or to apply, of course, if it's relevant to your brand or not. So...
But that, I mean, interesting. You're still talking about F&B, as an industry, which is great. But is there something that you do for self-help? I understand that you don't read a lot of books, which is fair. But what keeps you, introspecting always? Where do you learn from what to do better, not only professionally, but personally first, and that ends up reflecting professionally?
Yeah, definitely. Personally, it's mainly I have strong faith. I pray, I meditate. This is the main, I would say, shield that protects me from everything every day. And it helps me to grow, and it helps me to take good decisions. So even when I'm praying, I say, please help me to take the right decision, because especially when your decision can impact the life of people. So I stay connected and close to God whatever I do. Whatever I'm doing, wherever I'm going. So it's the main shield that protects me and helps me in my day-to-day life. Being surrounded by a great family, a great husband, a lot of friends, it also helps you to really stay strong in morale, in whatever you need in life. You are supported also by a strong backbone. Sports, the usual, Pilates, walking. So I was telling you nothing major because this is what most of people are doing. It's mainly you have to always try your best of luck to stay your best to stay positive, to stay pragmatic. Because whenever you are pragmatic, you know that when you are dealing with a problem or a situation, you know how to get out of it. So it's more about training yourself to really be ready for everything.
What frustrates you about people? I mean, every business is business of people, especially nowadays. I mean, traditional manufacturing aside, every knowledge-based business is people. Hospitality and restaurant is completely people. What just makes you pull your hair?
If they are superficial, and also when they are not genuine. So when they are trying to say something that they are not, and you know it and you see it, this is the worst thing that you can face when you are sitting with people.
And you find a lot of those in boardrooms at times.
Definitely, yes.
What do you do then? How do you handle that?
That's when you say no in the room. Like the example I gave you initially. You need to accept the fact that you are in a diversified environment. Not all your fingers are the same. This is a saying. You need to accept that there are many cultures, many backgrounds, many agendas in a room. So, and you need to stay true to yourself, true to your organization. And whenever you feel that you don't fit in this room anymore, you should leave it. As simple as that.
My wife is my co-founder in the business, and I call her the full stack entrepreneur because in her journey, her name is Sakshi, and in her journey, I saw her from being tech person to a project manager to a finance person to actually orchestrating sales and then managing revenue. So I've seen almost all phases of her, and each phase when she took up, it was compulsion. It was almost not a choice, or rather it was a choice on her end, but it was almost the compulsion of the situation that, somebody needs to take it up. And she said, go, I'll take care of it. And each time we discovered that, what did you do here? And so I'm telling you this because I want to qualify my position on this. I hate to ask this question, but I have to.
Yes.
How has it been a woman leadership that grew literally from the bottom, the starting point, to where you are? How much has that been a battle or not? Or, what's been your experience or view?
To be fair, throughout my experience, even when I was in Lebanon, I never felt any type of discrimination, or I was not hired at any place because they wanted to fill a KPI, a gender KPI, and which I wouldn't have accepted, because at least I want them to see my skills, what I can add as a value to the table, equally like any man. So the battle is mainly to prove yourself, mainly. It's not about, so nobody forced this battle on you. You can choose an easy path, or you can decide to be like motivated, ambitious, you want to grow, you want to do more. So it's more of a personal battle. I cannot say that it was forced on me. I have 4 sisters, so we are 5 girls in the house. I am the youngest. And we come from also from an environment where usually the parents, they expect to have boys, not girls, or at least you need to have a boy for continuity of the family. In our case, my dad used to say I wouldn't replace any of my girls with 10 boys. Like, they are equally, not equal. They are, each one is better than 10 boys. And this came from him. And definitely it stayed in my head, it stayed in my heart. In everyday battle, I take it and I keep it in my heart, and it reminds me that it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy. What matters is that you need to really stay true to yourself, fight for you, for people around you. Do what is right and what is fair, and that's it, without really looking at genders or religion or even nationalities.
That's beautiful, and that's one of the most wholesome, answers. I feel that answer, but as I said, I had to ask that because I do wonder about it at times. Because world is a certain way, which is fair.
Yes.
I mean, but anybody who's fighting, they get their chance. That also is true.
We are in a nice, in a very, we're lucky to be in this environment, in this country, in this area of the world. And at least for women, you can see that lately, most of entrepreneurs, or even when we look at the F&B industry, there are a lot of strong women doing great job, bringing beautiful concepts to the market. So everyone is shining. So it's good to see it.
Tell me about your family.
So we're five sisters. I'm the youngest. I got married 2 weeks ago. So this is the latest highlight in my personal life. Thank you. So I live with my husband, and I call him husband and best friend because he has been also by my side in the past 9 years. He took part of my growth, motivated me a lot. Really, I'm lucky to have him by my side. We both live, of course, in Dubai.
Where did you meet him?
So we met in Dubai, but we went to the same school and in the same school bus in Lebanon. But we never spoke to each other in that school bus. He was 1 year older than me, so we were not in the same class or promotion. But it happened by chance as well that we met in Dubai after many years.
And for the last 9 years, you guys have been dating, or he was trying for the last 9 years?
We were trying, let's be fair. Or let's say he was trying and then you edited.
Damn, that's a long one.
Yeah, no, we were friends. It happened that we have a lot of friends in common, and it was like the Dubai gang. We always go out together, we do stuff, and we got along so much, me and him. And even whenever I had any important decision or a career shift, I used to get his opinion on that. He does more analysis, like he takes his time. I'm someone who might jump on an opportunity. So when I was, let's say, taking the iKcon opportunity, he was like, "Are you sure? Startup? It's not stable." I said, "I need to try." So and then later he always talk about it, and he says, I was bold, I was brave to take it, and he's happy about it. So different characters, but we get along so much.
Yeah. That is beautiful, and congratulations on marriage.
Thank you.
You should. Did we catch you in between your honeymoon plans?
So no honeymoon plans. I had to come back to work, especially that it was a new assignment since June. So I didn't have really the luxury of traveling so much. But I'm happy with what we got. It was really nice, and we were surrounded by our family and friends in Lebanon. It was perfect.
That is super. You talked about your, you being lucky to be with great managers, great bosses who nurtured you, helped you learn. How are you giving that back? And especially now, I mean, you've been in the position, you've been in the C-level position before, so I'm sure you have had, people you've nurtured
Yes.
all throughout. But as a CEO now, this is also a big part of your, KRA, if not KPI. How do you do that? How are you nurturing people around you?
Of course, when you say, I was lucky to work with great managers, it tells you that at the end of the day, you would learn something from each person. And sometimes when you don't learn, it's also a learning, because you might say, I'm not going to do this with my team. I'm going to avoid this. And I wish I can be like A or B or C. So, and it starts to build up. Today, I'll tell you, I started the journey, and I've been leading my finance team before, finance/IT/inventory, so different departments within the company. So you need to, the main thing that you should do as like the the best thing I would tell you on the recipe is to listen to people. So first you need to listen, you need to give them the time, you need to understand what they are afraid of, what are their struggles, what is their objective, why are they in this company, how they want to grow and all. So first part is you listen, you understand their needs, and you see how you can support their needs. Second is learning and teaching. So even when I was during the last 1 year and a half, let's say I like people around me to all be educated, even if it's someone from operation or marketing educated about finance. Of course, everyone is educated, but to understand more finance, to understand why we are picky sometimes, why we focus on those KPIs, why it is important, how it can impact the business. So you need to educate people around you so that everybody can speak the same language. And this is how you support them to grow. And when they feel that you are helping them to grow, it's not like you're not worried that they might take your chair one day, they might take your role. They will feel more comfortable to work with you. They will understand that your intention is mainly the good of the business and their good, their own good. It's not like your hidden agenda. You have to be transparent as well. So even when there are difficult times, you have to be transparent and to tell them, we're restructuring, let's say, and it's not, we don't know when it's going to end, or you're safe, you're not safe. So they need to hear from you those things, because they need to hear it from their managers, not from the gossips or from someone else. So the more you are transparent, the more they feel also safe wherever they are.
You're in a crazy market. This is Dubai is a land of opportunities.
Yes.
But at the same time, entire world is seeking opportunities here. So that just makes it crazy. And you have seen multiple flavors of F&B business, from well-established Azadea to, thriving iKcon to Black Spoon, which also runs iconic brands, and now global catering. Across all these, when you see last 10 years,
yes,
what have you understood or you still struggle with, when you want to predict the F&B in Dubai?
So first, it's a very dynamic world. So you understand a lot every year, and the struggle can change every time. Because when I started, it was, when I came like 10 years ago, it was mainly the franchises, the big international brands that are doing well. And then now you see that it's more of the homegrown that are
New
becoming
concepts,
international, that are really expanding outside UAE. So it's a different formula. The chefs are more popular today. They are essential to be part of your brand, depending, of course, on the cuisine, depending on the story. But a lot of changes are happening in the market. What is the struggle is to really understand that for each brand, you have to be really relevant and true to the brand. So if it works here, it doesn't mean it will work and the other brand. You cannot repeat the same story, the same success story. If it worked, let's say, in Dubai, it might not work in Saudi. So the struggle here is to really understand each market and the guests that are coming to your restaurants, what they want, why they like you.
But practically, I understand what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
But practically, how does that happen on ground? I mean, it's easier said than done, because, I've seen brands not work in two different sides of Dubai. Dubai and Saudi is still,
Yes.
quite a transition, right? How do you understand that? And my question is not only about the creative or understanding aspect. My question is also from financial aspect. New malls springing up every day. Dubai spins, new settlements and new regions like, it's a child's play every time. I mean, I've been coming to Dubai for the last 10 years, and I have never been able to keep up with the city or growth of the city quarter on quarter.
Yes.
How do you, what have you understood about this market that you would want to tell? Or rather, let me rephrase the question. If a new person comes to you today who wants to set up F&B business here, and if they are veterans in their own country, they can be from some other country, they are F&B players, they know food, they know their restaurants well, but they are setting up in this market, what will you tell them? What will be your advice?
I tell them, don't do it. It's too late. You're a bit late. The market is already saturated.
But people told me this 6 years back as well.
I know. Now coming back to the serious aspect, as a finance person and working on a lot of concepts so far, definitely you need to do your study, your market study, your feasibility study. You need to look at all scenarios, what can work, what cannot work. So take a very conservative approach whenever you're building the feasibility as well your restaurant. Today, with experience, I would tell you it's better to go for a small-sized restaurant, because this is where you limit your investment, your capex, even the employee structure, because it's the most expensive part of your P&L. So if you're coming now new to the market, I would tell you, don't go big, go small. Start with a small concept, with a coffee maybe, or fast food, or a very optimized brand that can work well. This is one thing. Depending on the brand identity, you need to see where you should open. Don't believe that even if you open in Dubai Mall, you might not do well. So it depends on which part of Dubai Mall, which location, the visibility that you are getting. Is your brand appealing to tourists or to locals? So there are a lot of questions to look at whenever you are really going into opening a new concept or maintaining the performance of your existing portfolio. But two things I would say are very important. First, your brand should be always relevant. So it should evolve. It should really keep improving, because you need to attract your loyal customer as well as the new customer or the young generation. So you need to really keep improving the brand. You cannot stick to the menu that you had maybe 5 years ago. You need to improve it. Does it include healthy options? Does it include gluten-free? Does it include the sharing portions, small portions? Because people are changing, especially after COVID. So you need to always improve what you have. The second point is rebranding is not always the right solution. So it's a very sensitive topic. Sometimes you might say, we should do rebranding, we need to change the logo, we need to change the colors. This brand is old, but do you think it will really make it...
You're talking about brands
something that are existing, yeah. Any brand in your portfolio, do you really want to do rebranding or make a drastic change? Maybe not, because you need to also understand your existing customer, how they built a relationship with that brand, how it might impact them. So as you said, it's not like one formula that could work everywhere. It's not like one theory, success story that you can apply everywhere. You need to go case by case, location by location, and then it's tough. And that's why I love F&B, because it's tough. It's complex. It's not a straightforward business. People think it's easy, not at all. It's too complex. And sometimes, people who might come from abroad, who open maybe a street food store somewhere and it made well, they think it will do well here. They don't know that there are a lot of permits, there are a lot of SOPs that should be in place, a lot of criteria to be able to build this restaurant. So it's not really easy.
You talked about that manpower being like a pretty large expense center today, and hence people should kind of start small. So that, what's the percentage of revenue allocation, or rather expense, that is manpower today?
If I want to look at a healthy P&L, if you manage to keep it at 18-19%, you would be doing very well. Below 24%, you're okay. Anything above that, it's not really
only
good.
For manpower costs.
Yes,
that's high.
Yeah, it is high. Yeah, it is high, and it depends also on the brand.
Can you give me a pie chart of your expense percentages? So manpower, 18 to 24%.
Yes, so I will give you like a typical or ideal, without referring to any example.
Yes.
Okay, so initially you start from your top line, your revenues. So your food costs, if you can maintain it at 22% to 24% maximum, it would be also great. Depending on your cuisine, if you're serving, let's say, steak, meat, so it becomes more expensive. It depends case by case. And then the second big cost would be the labor cost, which we just mentioned, including all the benefits, the insurance, the travel expenses of the employees, the visa. This is an aspect also related to UAE and GCC in general. The second...
so 18 to 24% of manpower. Inclusive of everything.
Yes, the total cost. The second big cost is your rent. So here also, if you manage to negotiate, or it depends where you are. If you are in a mall or a street location, definitely in a mall, it comes with a lot of extras, common area charges, chilled water, and all these. So the rent today, if you're lucky, it is 8%. If you go with the latest rates, it's 15%. So,
and I hear that malls here also charge some percentage of your delivery business as well.
Yes.
In case you're delivering from that store.
Yeah,
right?
it's based on the revenue.
So that's 18 to 15% encompasses all of that.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say, 8 to 15. The most common today in big malls, it's definitely 12 to 15%. So it's not affordable anymore like before. And then the marketing, 2%. Your maintenance, electricity, cleaning, it could be up to 3%. So a healthy EBITDA today is around 18 to 24%.
And practically, so this is the ideal one.
Yes.
Practically, what do you think is the EBITDA which people are kind of earning or trying to earn today?
They are trying to be at 12 to 15%.
Really? They're still in double digit?
Yes, a lot. Otherwise, they will be out of the business. Because after the EBITDA, you still have your depreciation, your finance cost, a lot of things to handle.
No, yeah, that's why I'm capping it at EBITDA.
Yes. If you really want to sustain your business, if you are on the 12 to 15%, then you are in a good shape. Anywhere below the double digit, when your EBITDA becomes one digit, it becomes very difficult.
You do not, factor marketplaces, aggregators,
the commissions, and yes, if you have high dependency on delivery,
yeah. So
delivery cost. If you are highly dependent on delivery, it would be 15% or 16% from your sales. So if your delivery is 50% or
so that's another 7.5% gone from your EBITDA.
That's why if you look at organizations, it's better to have a diversified portfolio of brands, because you might have a brand that is highly dependent on delivery and a brand that only generates 10% from delivery, and where they can keep the commission percentage at a low rate.
Do you think that basis that pure cloud kitchens can ever make money?
No. And that's how they started to go into brick and mortar, into hotels, into like expanding their portfolio, diversifying their channels, because they need to make money at the end of the day. And even the investors, they started to become more picky or aggressive, because they wanted to start to see a light at the end of the tunnel. That's why they had to shift their strategy from delivery only and cloud kitchen to as well dine-in experience.
You talked about your coach in between. You mentioned that, do you take professional coach? Do you have a professional coach?
I had a professional coach. It was in 2021, I think, or end of 2020. And I would say there are a lot of mentors in my life, people that I learn from, including my husband. So any conversation, any experience that you get in life, it helps you to really adds value to you, to your thinking, to your growth as well.
But what made you get go for a coach in 2021?
So it was in the phase where I was shifting from iKcon to Black Spoon. It was where I was deciding, should I stay in F&B? What's next for me in finance? So I wanted to discuss it with someone to see more about the potential.
And how did it go?
He was the one who said, you're going to be CEO next, based on our conversations and our deep dive sessions that we had, yes.
And,
And I highly recommend this, because you always need to talk to professionals in your career. You should not look at it only from your perspective, not from the same room. Even when you are talking to your boss, he might not really always give you the what's best for you as an advice. So you need to hear it from an external person, usually.
So, how long did that coaching?
It was only 5 months.
5 months, but was it like a weekly, fortnightly?
No, I would say maybe twice per month. I can't remember. Twice per month, yes. Not weekly. We didn't have the time as well for that.
And have you ever thought
like
about
2-hour coffee where you sit and discuss updates from work, from life, what's happening, what's next. It was at that time where I started to be approached by some recruiters, so sometimes I was updating him about how it went.
Was he a career coach or
a career coach?
Career coach.
Yeah.
And have you thought about having a professional CEO coach again?
I might do it. Why not? It's good. It would always help you to really look at things from a different perspective. And if you want to grow more, if you want to see if you are on the right track, what can be done better, what should you adjust, especially now, when I am having a shift in my career. Not everything can work for a CEO that used to work for a CFO. So you need to adapt. You need to do some changes to your leadership style, to your day-to-day activity, to your routine, to everything.
Pauline, this is a phenomenal story that world needs to know more about. But I'm glad that the story is still in making. So
Yes.
Congratulations on a lot of new things in life, from your
Thank you.
marriage to being the CEO of the organization. I wish you all the best, and thank you for allowing us to have this conversation. It was fabulous.
Thank you for your time. It was a fun session.